Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a closer look at the Notgrass Our Star-Spangled Story history books. So the whole set comes with a part 1, comes with a part 2, then it's got the Star-Spangled Rhythms and Rhymes, the student workbook, and then we have the timeline and the answer key and literature guide. So let's jump into Our Star-Spangled Story, part 1. It's beautiful when you open it up. The illustrations are gorgeous. So it tells you what's in the package. And then it's got table of contents, of course. Goes over everything that's going to be covered. It's got a Dear Student letter talking to the student about what they're going to learn. And then it's got, of course, for the parent. And then I liked how it explains how you're going to use all the pieces that come. So it explains which part you're doing, what you have to correlate with everything, when you have to use each part. So it explains like when you have to use the rhythms and rhymes, or the timeline, or the workbook. And it's got pretty much everything you need. It also has a list of recommended literature. I don't have all of them, but I do have Katie, Emily's Runaway Imagination, and I believe Farmer Boy. So I'm just going to use that as we go. Tells you what supplies you might need for each lesson. And then how to homeschool, everything you could possibly need. So once we get to the first unit, it breaks down the lessons, what part you need to read for each lesson. So lesson 1, the first people came to America. That would be right here. And then, so pretty much this is the whole lesson. Let me show you how long it is. Okay, yes, this is all the reading you have to do for lesson. So once you've done the reading, you move on to the lesson activities. Look at the American 1492 map inside cover. So this would be the map. Then rhythms and rhymes. Enjoy Coyote Song on page 1. So this is what they're referencing. So this, let's see, Coyote Song, page number 1. And then you can read through it, and it tells you where it came from. You have the story, and then you also can download the soundtrack. Once you purchase the set, it gives you instructions to download the soundtrack, and you can listen with the child, let them listen to the music. So that is what they're talking about. Then a student workbook. So let me pull that out. Page 1, lesson 1. Okay, draw people from different countries, including people of various ages, or write a paragraph. So I guess it depends on your child's level. If they're younger, they can draw pictures. If they can write full sentences, that is a possibility also. So this is just an idea of what lesson 2 would look like, and lesson 3, and what they would ask you to do. Okay, and I will go into that in just a second. I'm just going to see, yeah, literature. And then this is the title of the book that you could read. So you have some review questions you can ask after you read that part, and then you have hands-on, so you can build like Noah's Ark or the Tower of Babel. So pretty much it gives you ideas. You're not required to do these parts, but it gives you an idea if you want to, broaden the lesson, expand on it. So we have that. And then you continue each day. And the lessons are fairly short. It seems like 2-3 pages of reading, and then you have a breakdown of what to do. So let's take a look at the student workbook. So we have lots of coloring, lots of, pretty much, what do you do? Yeah, you just pretty much listen to what you learned, draw about it, what you think about it. I like these parts right here, the unit reviews. So you have to fill in based on what you've learned in each lesson. And then, some map work. That is a good idea too. And this is mostly for 1st through 4th grade, if I am not mistaken. So my daughter's going to 3rd grade, and I think this is actually right up her alley. Okay. Yes, and it's I don't think there's any like tests or anything, it's just reviews. So this is what the student workbook looks like. Now we looked a little bit at the rhymes, rhythms and rhymes. So we have so many different, oh, they even have a psalm from the Bible. They have dances, they have songs that go with each lesson. I'm glad that these have like songs that are history based. It's not like something where she would hear it on the radio and be like, oh, I know this. This is actually stuff that was part of history. All right. And now we also have the timeline. So the timeline you utilize when you're reading certain parts, and it's got dates and stuff. You can reference back to this. And it shows you when it would happen on the timeline. So the first lesson was about Leif Erikson and the Vikings. So this would be around 1000, 1050, so forth. I like how it has everything laid out leading up to our time period now. Let me see, 1806, 1809. Let's see how present it gets. 1987, 2020, 2021. Yep, 2021. So we have all the latest timeline stuff. And then, of course, part 2. It is starting off in, let me see. Unit 16, okay. Starts with the first telephone call. So Alexander Graham Bell, the inventors, so forth, Helen Keller. Okay, so I love how it updates. At first it starts off with the broad map, and now it has the states. So I'm thinking they will get into the states and start learning more about the geography. All right, and then the answer key and literature guide. So it has the questions that you answer, the reviews, what the answers would be, and then to their worksheets, the student worksheets. So that's perfect. You don't have to try to remember each part after you read it too. All right, and then what else did it say it have? Oh, the literature guides. So once you're reading the different literature books, you can actually ask the discussion questions. That's perfect. Let me see. Farmer Boy, Mountain Born. This is the one we have right now we're reading. So we can go ahead and utilize this part. But yeah, I think this is a perfect starter pack. I believe it was around $70 for all of this on Amazon, but I'm sure they have it on their website. Maybe they even have sales, but I think we are going to enjoy this. I'll talk to you later.